This afternoon from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, the LA Clippers take on a team that had their number last season. A team that won in this building on Friday night, the Toronto Raptors. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Lawler. Welcome to Clippers basketball on this magnificent Sunday afternoon. Super to have you along. Clippers have dropped 6 of their last 8 basketball games. I'm told it's not time to panic, but it is time to start getting it right. Yeah. Bringing in my broadcast partner, former Clipper Mike Smith. Well, they never did get it right against the Toronto team last year, I can tell you that much.
You know, Ralph, some teams, for whatever reason, just end up being a bad matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case, but I do know the results say that the Raptors beat them both times, and one of those games, the Clippers led by 20 points.
Oh.
That was in Toronto. Let's look at our Mercedes-Benz keys. You can see they lost both. The Clippers did have their number before that. But the guy who's really been a thorn in their side is this Bulldog point guard, Kyle Lowry. Scoring, shooting well. And I tell you, they play hard, and they are a feisty group, and they're going to get after them on the boards, and all those things are going to be important today.
Now, I'm always trying to find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Here it is. Jamal Crawford, 35 years old, slow start this year. He has his groove back.
For whatever reason, it was slow. We don't even know why, right?
Yep.
Maybe all the new faces. But in the last 3 games, he's got a 20-point game. He's got a 37-point game. So he does have it going again. And good news for the Clippers as we look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. He usually has it going against these Raptors. Don't ask me why. He just sees it differently, maybe because of a hometown matchup against a Terrence Ross or Grievous Vasquez that he dominated. But he had a 37-point game against him, and in the last 4, he's averaged more than 20. Look for more of the same from Jamal, who's starting to rev up.
And hey, Blake Griffin has scored 20 or more in 11 of the first 12 games this year. We'll need more of the same from him this afternoon. Doc Rivers checks in when we come back. Clippers basketball is brought to you.
Good evening and welcome to NBA Sundays. I'm Justin Shackle, and we're excited to be serving up the Toronto Raptors and the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. And speaking of serving, Clippers point guard Chris Paul is known for serving up tasty assists. But recently, Chris enlisted the help of some really tall friends when his CP3 Foundation hosted a celebrity server dinner to raise funds for a group supporting local children living with disabilities.
It's all about giving back and helping others. And we're just always trying to impact kids and show them that people do care about them. We do want to see them succeed and try to give them those tools to make sure that they're not behind.
Chris gives back, period. He gives back here in Los Angeles. He gives back in North Carolina. He's a big believer in raising funds for kids and health awareness. I'm just so proud of him.
That's good. Now slightly twist.
Oh boy! Oh no! Oh no!
Last year, Blake got pretty good. He didn't spill anything. DJ was still fumbling and all that stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how he does this year.
You want some wine or water?
Wes Johnson just walking there, so I think Wes might be pretty good. He's pretty solid at everything.
To the rim, serving up a facial.
We're going to a kitchen party. It don't matter if you never been. Tonight there's a kitchen party.
He gonna spill it. Paul swear he know what he doing though. Until they start spilling it.
I'm pouring open face. I'm not pouring, blocking them out.
Tasty dip into the lane.
They have all the ingredients to go a long way.
While you're pouring, you look at the diner.
Look at him in their eyes.
I'm looking to make sure I don't spill.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
That's when you bring
Sir,
that
oh
clock.
my good sir.
Coming along.
Where's the manager?
Now twist your hand.
Oh, sir.
Always got ice water in those veins.
Sir, water splashing in my eye.
And they just keep pouring it on.
Sir. See what he did? This one, not good. He did like this. Thank you guys for giving up yourselves, your time.
When a player has an event, we come out, and the players support each other, the coaches, the organization. It's just what we should do.
Well, the Clippers having fun there. They have not had fun recently as we welcome you back here to NBA Sundays. Justin Shackle with you, getting you set for the Raptors and the Clippers. LA and Toronto in similar situations here. The Clippers have lost 2 straight, 6 of 8 since starting the season at 4-0. The Raptors, meanwhile, are 3-6 after starting the season at 5-0. And this game will conclude Toronto's 5-game West Coast trip, a trip to forget. They've lost Jonas Valanciunas on the way. Back to Staples Center we go.
Ralph Lawler back with you at Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles on a brilliant Sunday afternoon. The Los Angeles Clippers getting set to go against the Toronto Raptors. Clippers at 6-6, not where Coach Doc Rivers wanted to be at this point, but he says it is not panic time.
I don't know if we look at it like a time like this. I mean, we're not. I don't think anybody's panicking on our side. Ralph.
Just the fans and the broadcasters.
Exactly. That's what it is. I mean, it's a long year, but we do have to play better. I mean, make no mistake about that. And we like a lot of the things we're doing. The things we don't like, we're trying to fix.
Raptors beat the Clippers in a season series sweep 2-0 a year ago. Back here with the starting lineups right after this.
Justin Shackle back here with you as we take a look at the latest standings before today's game between the Clippers and the Raptors in the Pacific Division. Golden State Warriors can tie the best start in history with a win tonight over the Nuggets. Warriors are 14-0. Clippers, meanwhile, have lost 2 in a row. They enter today's game at 6-6. Lakers 2-10 coming off losses to the Suns. And the Raptors the other night. Over in the Northwest Division, Oklahoma City Thunder are at the top, but they are 2-3 since Kevin Durant went down with his hamstring injury. They play the Mavs today and are coming off a loss against the New York Knicks. Everyone else in this division at 500 or below, including the Utah Jazz, the Denver Nuggets at 6-7. Portland coming off a win, but in last place at 5-9. In the Southwest Division, the Spurs are 10-3. They have won 8 of their last 10. They beat Memphis back on Saturday, snapping the Grizzlies' 4-game winning streak. Dallas, meanwhile, next to the Warriors, has the longest current winning streak in the NBA at 6 in a row. They're at 9-4. The Rockets 1-2 since the firing of head coach Kevin McHale earlier this week. Over in the Eastern Conference, in the Atlantic Division, the Boston Celtics up top. They took down the Nets the other night. They have a home-and-home going to Brooklyn here this evening. The Knicks at 8-6 have won 3 in a row. The Cavaliers at 10-3 doing a nice job. They have a game-and-a-half lead above the Chicago Bulls. Cavaliers have won 2 in a row, 8 of 10 overall. And we will go to the Southeast Division. The Heat at 8-4. The Hawks, meanwhile, 9-6. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Wizards at 6-4. Also the Hornets 7-6. This is a competitive division. A lot of teams above 500. Only the Orlando Magic below 500. Raptors, like we mentioned, after a 5-0 start at 8-6. The Clippers coming in after a 4-0 start. They're at 6-6. They have a 5-2 record at home. This is the first of 2 meetings on the season. We go to Staples Center. Raptors and Clippers. Ralph Lawler and Michael Smith take it away.
Hate to take you out of that California sunshine, but come on in. It's air conditioned and delightful inside here at Staples Center, where the Clippers play their 8th home game of the year. They are 5-2 so far at home, 6-6 against the league. Here's the lineup for the visiting Toronto Raptors. 5th and final game of a long road trip. It'll be Damari Carroll at 1 forward, Luis Scola, the veteran from Argentina, at the other. Filling in at center is Bismarck Biyombo, replacing Jonas Valanciunas, who broke a bone in his hand here Friday night against the Lakers. Backcourt combination. Here's where all the real trouble comes from. DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. Head coach is Dwayne Casey, his 5th year in Toronto. Won 49 ball games with this club last year, best year they've ever had in the history of that franchise. So for the Clippers, they will line up as follows. Paul Pierce back as the starting small forward for this ball club after sitting out the second game of a back-to-back Friday night in Portland. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, J.J. Redick, Chris Paul. I think this is the group that head coach Doc Rivers envisioned would be his starting lineup, and I think it is now pretty much as far as the eye can see now, save for maybe some back-to-backs where Pierce will sit and Wesley Johnson may get the call. Our referees for this afternoon's game are Scott Foster, Mark Lindsay, and Derek Richardson. Clippers are home whites, the road blacks for the Raptors. Today's tip-off delivered by Shumash Casino Resort. Foster will toss it up. Jordan will jump with Biyombo. And DeAndre controls the tap. Clippers have it now. They'll have it to start the 4th and final quarter as a result of winning the opening jump ball. Redick Gets a good open look, but it bounces short off the rim. Biyombo the rebound, and here comes Lowry.
One of the scary things is that guard-dominant teams have given the Clippers 3 consecutive losses. The Warriors, the Phoenix Suns, and then Portland the other night. In other words, teams that have a good scoring guard and a good shooting guard.
Lowry will let it fly. Off the iron, rebound, good position for DeAndre Jordan. Paul in the wing gets it right back. CP3 for 3. Short again. Scola the rebound. DeMar DeRozan, Compton High School, USC. Lowry into the corner to Mari Carroll, a new face this year for him. Steps in and knocks down the two-pointer.
He's their big free agent acquisition. So 2 years ago, their top 10 offense and defense, Toronto is. But last year, top 10 offense, they fell all the way to 23rd defensively. So they went out and got DeMari Carroll, wing player, can play D, shoot threes. I think they got a good one.
Into the corner, Redick, an open look for a 3. Bingo! J.J. Redick.
Blake's first assist of the night. And those numbers are starting to climb. So as this team gets back and gets healthy, and I think you're right, Ralph, Pierce fits best with this first unit because he doesn't have to create. Just shoot and space the floor.
Lowry all the way to the basket. Blocked by Jordan. On the break, here comes Redick. Carroll is back. He'll pull up from 15 and miss the shot. Scola, the rebound, would go the other way. Clippers 3-2, opening 2 minutes of play. Hit the road, go to Denver on Tuesday night. Have it for you right here on Prime Ticket. DeRozan, Scola, dangerous. Backdoor pass.
Scola,
a good extra pass to Biyombo.
Is dangerous in a lot of ways. He's just such a smart player.
DeAndre running the court, going to the rim and getting the goal. By 4, Clippers by 1. Not many 7-foot guys lead the way up the court like that. There's a bad errant pass. It's chased down by Biyombo, not used to starting his first start of the year.
And not much of an offensive player. He's out there for his defense.
Here's Carroll.
Remember, Carroll's the lone Atlanta Hawks starter last year that did not get an all-star selection. But he got himself an all-star contract this summer, didn't he?
Well, I'll say he did. Was it 4 years, $80 million? Is that right?
Yeah.
4 years, $80 million?
It's amazing how many shots Redick gets in the opening first quarter.
I'm still amazed at 4 years, $80 million.
Yeah, I know.
Career average is 7.6 points a game.
And what, 6 teams before he even gets to the Hawks?
Whiz. Lowry. That's why players love the NBA. Here comes Chris Paul. The lob, the jam.
And confusion on the side of the Rockets. Biyombo thought somebody had him. Scola and he don't communicate. As you said, first time they're starting together all year.
Biyombo at distance. Lowry will let it fly. In and out.
And he made 7 of those against the Lakers the other night right here in this building.
Yeah, just in 11 tries. Redick on the run. The floater will not fall, but he's fouled. JJ goes down hard. Made a 3 just a moment ago. Happy to see that. And with this 3-pointer, another $50 donated to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles as a part of our CHLA 3-point play. So JJ will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. And good look there at his new tattoo. We'll have more about that from Kyle Montgomery a bit later in our telecast. Free throw hits the front rim and then curls in. He's 21 of 23 now on the year.
First game back the other night after missing 3 against Portland. Indifferent results. Made some early buckets, but did not shoot it well overall. Boy,
front rim again.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too often.
11-6, Clippers up early. Early hasn't been their problem lately. Late has been. DeRozan through the paint.
He is so tall, Ralph. Every time I walk by this young DeMar DeRozan, who's now 26 years old, I think he's 6'9". I mean, they list him at 6'7".
But even that is big for a player his position. Swatted away by Lowry.
You're right.
And Here comes DeRozan again.
And he loves the mid-range game where he can elevate over his player.
Scola for three. Bingo. Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
He's been doing it this year, right?
He sure has. That ties at 11. Reddick, I'll show you how to do it.
Oh, how about JJ? Let it go and started running the other way.
Ball back, baby. Clippers up by 3. 10 early points for Reddick in less than 5 minutes of play.
And they've made 4 shots in a row, so.
Defensive 3-second violation against DeAndre Jordan.
Again, the hockey assist to Blake. Chris Paul gets an assist, but beautiful rhythm.
They don't have hockey assists in the NBA, Mike.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But somebody's starting to keep them, right? I've noticed.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody said the other day on Twitter, Jarrett Jack leads the league in hockey assists. I'm like,
really?
I'm like, who's keeping that thing? I thought it was just fun banter while we watched it.
So the technical foul shot is good by DeRozan.
I just figured since we're playing Toronto,
okay.
Right? You know, hockey's their sport.
They know hockey better than they do
I
basketball.
throw in hockey assist.
You know what it's doing in Toronto right now? It's 85 degrees, sunny here in California. They've been here for 4 days. It's snowing.
It's probably 60 there.
It's snowing as we speak. Shot clock winding down. Carroll. Oh, that's a nice bailout by Amari Carroll.
And Blake took his arm down because he didn't want to get a foul. Thought the shot was difficult enough.
Foul called off the ball. It's going to be on Luis Scola. Scola gets his first.
Watch Blake put his arm down at the very minute. So he moves his feet beautifully, and then he just says, okay, I'm going to let you shoot. I'm not going to go for the block. And Damari Carroll has made all 3 shots to keep Toronto in it.
Every one of those $80 million. Paul will bring it in. Wanted Reddick, denied the ball by Carroll. Carroll chasing JJ, couldn't catch him. Great block. We're going to take a look at that. Could be 3, could be 2, but a great screen set by 1, Blake Griffin. Clippers up by a pair, at least. Lowry, Scola, run off the 3-point line. Inside to Biyombo.
Now you have to honor that 3-point shot. The most threes that Scola had made in any year prior to this year was 5. And I know he was, 10 for 20 coming in?
Which is right at 50% according to my computer like mine.
And he knocked down the only one tonight.
Paul Pierce almost had a look, but again, Carroll, a very good defender, denies him. Griffin is wide open.
And Toronto does not want to see Paul Pierce. They had enough of him last year in the playoffs. It was a 4-0 sweep for the Wizards.
A lot of ISO ball from this club. Carroll swatted away, but he maybe gotten it off the glass. It'll be a goaltend, and the goal belongs to the Raptors.
I don't know about that one, Ralph. That ball
very close.
It was on the far end from us. It didn't hit the backboard first. So the question is, did DJ get it on the way down? DJ's going to have a talk with Mark Lindsay. Says, I think I got
Let's
there.
watch it.
That's still going up.
He sent it to the glass rather than off the glass. No question about it. Should have been a good block. But the lead belongs to the Raptors, and they get the turnover, and Scola will race up court and score and get fouled.
Just a silly play right there by Blake. And I think he was caught in between. Do I try and block this or do I try and stop him? And he did neither.
So we'll have a timeout on the court. It's a 2016 lead for the Raptors. They lead the Clippers. DJ throws it down.
A 4-point lead after the Scola layup. Let's enjoy this first break of the action with the Clippers spirit.
Rolling on the river.
I left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and
the Clippers spirit.
Welcome back inside Staples Center, where the Raptors lead the Clippers by 4 about halfway through the first quarter. Well, dating back to his days in Boston, Doc Rivers has always favored getting back on defense instead of crashing the offensive glass, a strategy predicated on his team controlling the defensive glass, which is something the Clippers have not done a great job of so far this year, ranking 26th in the league in defensive rebounding rate and 18th in defensive rebounds per game. Now, prior to tonight's matchup, I asked Doc where the biggest issue is, and he told me a combination of scheme, mental lapses, and effort. So plenty of blame to go around, guys. He wants to see his team hit first and show more physicality and keeping teams off the offensive glass. Toronto, the 4th best rebounding team in the league. We'll see if they answer the bell tonight. Plenty of basketball to play.
You know, Kyle, there's a bunch of teams who employ that same kind of philosophy. The San Antonio Spurs also are great on the defensive glass. They don't risk going for offensive boards so they can make sure they get back. Doc did that when he got Garnett and Pierce and Ray Allen and an older group, and it has worked. But the bottom line is you have to own your defensive glass. As you pointed out, they're not doing that.
Plenty of time on the clock. Oh, there's a hard foul. It'll be on Lowry. Kyle Lowry gets his first.
I almost didn't recognize Kyle Lowry.
He's lost a bunch of weight. No indication of how many, but he faded in the playoffs last year. I think he thought maybe I'm not in a good enough shape. Maybe the extra baggage. He lost it, and he's having quite a year.
And he was an all-star last year. Unbelievable year to start the season last year. Remember, New Year's Day, Toronto has the best record in the Eastern Conference last year.
Griffin for 3. Rebound to Rosen. DeMar motors into the front court. Over Redick, there's that size advantage. He's been okay. He's been really okay. Missed the shot. Can't believe he missed it.
That's exactly what Kyle was just talking about. Biyombo getting or giving Toronto another opportunity.
Well, Doc mentioned something before the game that you've mentioned on television here, Mike. The club, the big guys, Griffin and Jordan, have used their athleticism all their life. They just aren't doing the basics of boxing out, and that's hurting on both ends of the court.
You know, and sometimes you need a day or two, which the Clippers are not going to get, partner, as you know, right? This is game 1 of 6 games in 8 days with a trip to Denver. So there's not going to be a lot of practice time. But sometimes you need a rebounding 101 like refresher course and say, okay, we're throwing the ball up, go get a body on a guy and stay on him.
The Doc says we do that in practice, and the guys are great. Comes out to the game, and it doesn't happen. So they continue to work on it, trailing here by 4. Paul got the screen, finds Blake Griffin, go to the hole, contact, offensive foul. Blake Griffin, number 2 on Blake.
2 poor decisions by Blake, and he walks right to the bench. He knows exactly what that means in the first quarter if you pick up 2 fouls. And both of them occur against Scola. And Scola's like the most unique player Blake will go against all season. He doesn't jump, he's not fast, he's not the athletic equal, he's the opposite.
He's kind of like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Here he is against Josh Smith.
With just a little more hair.
Here's Scola. Be kind, Mike Smith. Lowry goes to Scola, a little floater off the glass, very nice.
Scola has played big. He's had some big games. 19 and 12 against Dallas, that was a win. He had 21 against Philly, that was a win. He had 22 against Utah the other night.
Hey, 6-point Toronto lead, 8 minutes into the game. A wrap around to Josh Smith, open shot, spins in. Josh happy to see one fall, shooting only 36% from his backup big position, 23-19. Raptors on top of the basketball game. Wholesale substitutions for the Clippers, waiting to check in. Scola for 3 again.
There's that rebounding thing.
Biyombo again. Scola can't hang on.
Timeout Toronto.
Oh, Doc's not happy with that. He thought he had a jump ball. Doc pleading his case at midcourt. That's not going to do him a whole lot of good, I suspect. 3:27 to go in the period. Raptors up 23-19.
Four-point game with the Raptors on top. Justin Shackle back here with you. We look at some of the season leaders here in the NBA. Points per game is where we always start out. And Steph Curry Well, we always start out with him in this category. 40 points on Thursday against the Clippers in that spectacular comeback win for Golden State. Also had 37 against Toronto back on Tuesday. Russell Westbrook averaging 33 points per game since Kevin Durant was sidelined with a hamstring injury. Rebounds per game, Andre Drummond still at the top of the list. His streak of 13 straight games with a double-double, though, ended on Saturday with 8 points and 13 rebounds. DeAndre Jordan, you see there, 15, 10, and 18 boards over his last 3 games, respectively. Russell Westbrook still leading the assist category, along with Rajon Rondo. Westbrook with 7 assists in his last game. Rondo had 18 assists against the Heat back on Thursday night. And there you see Mr. Whiteside, Hassan Whiteside, 14 rebounds back on Tuesday. He had 22 blocks in his last 3 games, highlighted by a 10-block performance on Tuesday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jay Crowder's been the virtual leader in this category for practically all of the young season, averaging 2.83 steals per game. Kawhi Leonard falling out of the top 5, just 5 steals in his last 5 games. 4-point game over at Staples Center. Toronto shooting the worst percentage from the field out of any team in the first quarter. They are shot over 60% here in the first. Back to Staples Center.
Tough little afternoon game turnaround for the Clippers, who flew home all the way from Portland, and finding the going a little tough so far. It is time for the Carmack Smart Choice. You never have to haggle at Carmack. See if you want to haggle about this.
Okay.
Regarding the Clippers 6-6 start,
Yeah, I heard about it.
it's time to hit the panic button.
Panic button? I'm going to haggle with that. Oh, you're panicking?
Oh, I did that wrong.
I
did that wrong.
see. Oh, I see.
That was like a double negative. That was weird to me. No, it's not time to hit the panic button.
Gee, I can't believe you're. Look at a little history here. 90-91, Chicago Bulls never won a championship. Start 5-6, win 7 in a row, win their first title. 98-99,
Spurs
having all sorts of problems. Greg Popovich's job is on the line. You know, they go out, they get red hot, they win their first championship after a worse start than the Clippers. I can't believe you hitting the panic button. I am absolutely shocked.
I'm very upset right now with our producer, Jeff Kibler, because that question was formed a little double negative. It had me all confused. I told you it was a tough return from Portland. I haven't gotten my sleep. Imagine how the players feel.
Kyle Lowry, nice little. Oh, Biombo going after it. They're just killing the Clippers in the offensive glass.
So you got
Patrick Patterson.
You got the worst case scenario here, because Toronto's a good rebounding team. They really are. They get after you on both ends of the floor, and they're going to play hard all game. That's not the kind of opponent you want to play when you're having rebounding woes.
Only start on the court right now for the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan, and Josh Smith throws it away. Carroll races ahead, gets it back.
They are also top 5 in the league in steals.
They're also playing harder than the Clippers, and that's something Doc said before the game. He said, we're just not playing hard enough.
I'm worried about that with that flight back.
Just not playing hard enough. Better start. We're down by 8.
Eight-point game. Raptors on top 27-19 here in the first quarter. Like I mentioned before, the last whistle came away. The Raptors start out very slow. A league-low 35% shooting team in the first quarter. Here tonight, 57%. Back to Staples Center.
Show us your bright side of Clippers game day by tagging hashtag Clippers Bright Side in your Instagram photo. All season long, we'll be featuring your fan photo in an upcoming Fox Sports Prime Ticket broadcast. Brought to you by CarMax, the bright side of car buying. So Clippers have the ball, but they do not have a head of steam going here.
And Blake's in foul trouble. He sits. Chris comes out when he normally does. Chris had 5 assists early on, but not a bucket. What's most concerning with the Raptors leading as they are is between DeRozan and Lowry, their 2 best players, they have 1 basket only.
J.J. Redick has 13 of his team's 19, and he's in the bench. 7 on the clock. From the corner for 3. Clippers got a rare offensive rebound.
Did it with hustle, too. You can see why they went out and got DeMarre Carroll. He is a lockdown defender.
Josh Smith misses wide right. Lowry will go to work.
Lowry loves to get to the line. If he's getting to the line, he's playing his game.
Carroll, foul circle jumper. Wow.
Exactly the same number of points per game as he averaged last year.
But he's down to here in the first quarter.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. 12.6. He's got 12 in the period, and the lead is stretched to 10. Jordan to Crawford.
Trying to get Jamal free, but he's drawing a crowd everywhere he goes.
Crowd or not, he scores it.
Well, we talked about his history. He loves playing against these guys.
He loves playing.
Big games against him.
Nobody enjoys playing the game more than Jamal Crawford. Corey Joseph fires and misses. Rebound. Silvers kind of find it. Didn't really go get it. A minute remaining. First period. Smith. The lob and the jam. Josh Smith, a nice feed to DeAndre Jordan.
Josh Smith is great at improvising on the fly. That was not a set play. He started a movement and then just reacted to DJ being at the rim.
The plan against him last year when he played for Houston was to make him a shooter, not a playmaker. There he gets a block.
You know,
the both ends of the court.
Josh, at some point, has disappointed in his shot-making ability, but has not disappointed, in my mind, in his ability to make some big defensive plays. And if the shot can follow what he does, like this, passing ability, the shot blocking, then the Clippers have a gem right there, just saying no to Corey Joseph.
So Luc Mbah a Moute has moved into the second unit for this ball club, and Lance Stevenson has simply dropped out of not just the starting five, but the second five. Johnson hands the ball off to Lowry. 4 seconds in the shot clock. And Mbah a Moute got him. No, that would have been a 4-pointer had it gone. So Luke gets the foul, his first, and Lowry will go to the line.
And you've heard me talk about it many times, Ralph. When you got a guy, and in Lowry's case, he's been on fire, right? We mentioned the 7 threes he made. He scored 20 or more in 7 straight games. He's 0 for 4 in this game. And now you're going to put him on the line to say, okay, go shoot 3 relaxing free throws. Well, 3 or 2. We'll know in a second.
They're going to review it back in Secaucus at the replay center. Either way, Lowry will get at least 2. And he's a very good foul shooter, 89%. And all he's done is make 34 in a row. They say 2 or 3. Can it be 2? So his foot was on the line. Lowry shrugs a little disappointment. Said, okay, I'll take the 2.
Oh, there it is right there. Camera work great, guys. It was pretty close.
Free throw is good. Hey fans, now through January 11th, purchase any new Kia vehicle at a participating Southern California Kia dealer. You'll get 2 free tickets to an upcoming Clippers home game while the supplies last. Check out Clippers.com for more information on this slam dunk deal brought to you by Kia, the official vehicle of the LA Clippers. So Lowry makes it an 8-point lead again. 10 seconds separate shot and game clock. Crawford brings it to Smith. Mishandles a bit.
If they double him again, he'll deliver it.
A little floater. No. Rebound Carroll. 12 seconds to go. Raptors try to get it back to a double-digit lead.
Watch out for Patterson. He can spot up and shoot a 3 here.
Lowry at distance. Spinning. Driving. Getting fouled.
If he's getting to the line, he's playing his game.
So foul's going to be called against Austin Rivers. Austin's first. And Lowry goes back to the line. And of course, DeRozan about as good getting to the line as any backcourt player in the league. You got to guard these guys without letting them get to the free throw line. Way easier said than done.
37 in a row right now? That's a bunch.
Yes, it sure is.
I think Darren Williams in Dallas has yet to miss this year. He's made his first 35 to start the year. I wonder what the record is at the beginning of the year, consecutive free throws made.
Now the horn will sound. A disappointing opening quarter comes to an end for the Los Angeles Clippers, playing their third game in roughly 3.5 days. Raptors on top, 33-23 at the end of one. 13 points for J.J. Redick, not much for anybody else for the Clippers.
Well, only 4 points for Kyle Lowry here in the first quarter, but the Raptors at the end of the first have a 33-23 lead over the Clippers. But this isn't really a break in the action, as the high-flying Clippers dunk squad is ready to take the floor over at Staples Center.
They can hear you out here. If you like what you see, make some noise for them. Double A. G-Hash. Yeah! That's right. This is your international dunk team. We got one more dunk for you. Make some noise if you want some.
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Turn down for what?
Yeah! Give it up for your LA Clippers dunk team.
We're back here at Staples Center in downtown LA. Clippers a slow start, down by 10 at the end of 1. There's the first quarter numbers, Mike.
Well, they're shooting it okay. Getting beat on the boards. Look at the points in the paint category. And, of course, the turnovers jumping out at you. But those two guys... Scoreless. This is only the third time ever that they've played together in a first quarter that they both went scoreless in the first.
How would you know that?
Because they got great production crew guys. I can think of the thought, and they know what I'm thinking.
Wow.
And they look it up.
That's pretty scary. The Raptors have it. DeRozan fires in and out. Rebound. Clutched by Josh Smith out there with Crawford and Baamute and Rivers and Johnson. Second unit. Rivers into the paint. Ball deflected away out to the Clippers. 13 on the shot clock.
You got to watch out for this Toronto group. It's a small lineup, right? Not a true center. Patterson a forward, James Johnson a forward, Johnson long arms. He's a shot blocker. Ross long arms. They can get some steals, this group.
Rivers brings it out to Josh Smith. Little handoff. They double Crawford out of his hand. Left somebody open. Baamute can't hang on. 4 in the shot clock. Rivers, he'll turn, he'll shoot, and miss. Good controlled tap by Josh Smith. Clippers get a new clock, and they need it. All the way to the goal.
Stay!
Man.
That was a turnover going to happen at some point.
It could have happened 3 times earlier.
I mean, there's no part of that looked good.
That was 4 bad plays in 1 possession.
Exactly.
Fortunately, might be an NBA record.
Fortunately, only 1 turnover.
Yeah, good.
Wow.
Great. Opening minute. Second quarter, DeRozan into the paint. Wide open 3 ball from the corner. Smith the rebound. Good feed inside to Luc Baamute.
Some confusion there on the part of the Raptors as they ran down the floor. It's like we got guards and forwards only out there.
33-25, Clippers are down. DeRozan always hunting for drawing a foul. Another illegal defense call against the Clippers. Josh Smith thinks he was not guilty, but he got caught anyway. Here's Josh to the other end making a play.
Pretty simple, too. Just keeping his head up while he was dribbling. You see Blake do that a lot.
What I'm really happy to see Blake do is come back into the ball game, which is coming up right now. DeRozan misses a free throw. It gets there about 9 times a game. There's Blake. And Josh Smith will exit. That's a change at the center position for the Clippers. Griffin for Smith. Terrence Ross brings it in to Corey Joseph. DeRozan down the lane. Careful, Blake. Missed an easy one, but able to put it back. James Johnson out of Wake Forest. The lead is 10 again. Griffin works on Johnson. Blake looks inside. It's not DeAndre Jordan in there.
Surprised they didn't double Jamal right there off that screen with late in the shot clock.
So the Raptors come the other way. They fly home after the game. They'll get home in Toronto about 1 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That's what he does. You're right.
He's looking for the foul.
He can't shoot threes very well, and it's the thing that's holding him back from being a truly great player.
Can't shoot him worth a lick. He's 4 for 20.
Yeah, and I mean his past is just, I don't know why he hasn't added that to his game. And then the thing is, he shoots a ton of these long twos, but he loves to get to the mid-range game where he's 6'8", stops, he pivots, he shoots over you, he gets to the line. Those numbers are terrific.
I'm going to get you a scorecard, a 6-7. Hey, Clipper Nation, make plans to join us this Wednesday night as the Clippers take on the Utah Jazz. Game time 7:30. Tickets start at just $15. Visit clippers.com or axs.com for single game tickets all season long. Clipper Nation, together we will, I promise, we will, makes both free throws. Man, oh man, it's a 12-point ball game. 9:34 to go. Crawford. Oh, man. Look like guys that never played together in the basketball court before.
For the first time, they really have become a little bit tentative. So it's almost like they're aware that they're not playing well.
Now, they'll do that sometimes when they're way ahead.
Yeah.
Kind of let the other team back in. They're doing it here now when they should be playing with the desperation that Blake keeps talking about.
And the only factor that I'm going to mention that they won't mention it, and Doc won't let them use it as an excuse, but it is really hard when you fly back and get in at 2 or 3 in the morning and the game is not the next day, it's the following, like today, and it's an early game. So oftentimes the doctors will tell you it's not the night before sleep that you need, it's the night before the night that you need a really good night's sleep. So they're kind of on that last little, breath. They're going to have to find it.
Doc said before the game, he finds it odd and unfortunate. Oh, Blake Griffin? Or is it Paul?
It's Blake. It's his third
number
foul.
3 on Blake Griffin.
It's a fatigue foul.
Wow. Clippers down by 14 and fading.
A 14-point lead here for the Raptors in the second quarter against the Clippers. The entertainment comes in all shape and sizes over at Staples Center. Not just guys that are above 7 feet. These are the Kid Clippers.
The Kid Clippers. Fans, don't miss out on the limited edition.
So Toronto on top 39-25 here, just under 8.5 left to play in the second quarter. Raptors doing a great job shooting the ball over 50%, led by DeMar Carroll with 12. Back to Staples Center.
Staples Center, where the Clippers have yet to wake up for this early Sunday game against the Raptors, trailing by 14. in the second quarter. Ralph, Mike, you guys made mention of J.J. Redick's new ink earlier in the broadcast, and I was actually able to get a few more details on why he chose to get the new tattoo. First of all, he says it represents the 4 evangelistic symbols. He told me that it's something that he's been wanting to do for about 3 years, just couldn't find the right guy to do it. Just so happened to run into tatted up rock star Adam Levine this summer, asked him who his tattoo guy was, and the connection was made. However, a scheduling conflict stopped him from getting it done this offseason, so he took advantage of his recent break due to his back injury to get his masterpiece started. Plans on covering up the entire arm. Whoa. They call that a tattoo sleeve, which, Ralph, you're very familiar with. You're inked up under that suit. A lot of people just don't know that.
That's why I wear long sleeves all the time, to kind of cover it up. Scola got a good, sweet bounce.
Well, they're just getting too many good looks.
So J.J. is going to be like Cherokee Parks revisited.
I guess. I got to
Crawford for 3. They just aren't falling. DeAndre Jordan, offensive rebound, and overshoots the mark. Oh, me, oh, my. Clippers down by 16 as DeRozan.
Wide open. Too open.
No question about
Scola knew he missed it. He was running after it.
Ball misses. My sources tell me this is the deepest into a ball game ever that Paul and Griffin have both been scoreless.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
These folks working on this stuff for me.
That's good. Do we have the same people working on the stuff for you and for me?
Redick comes in. A disappointed Austin Rivers will come out. So Pierce and Crawford, Paul, Jordan, and Redick for the Clippers. Plenty of offensive firepower, 4 shooters and a big man. But the Clippers are 2 of 8 from deep.
And the problem is Toronto's just getting the looks they want. 52%. Here's a mismatch because of the height.
Scola in the circle.
He's not going to miss 2 in a row wide open. Not the MVP of FIBA Americas this summer.
Somebody's got to move forward and get a hand up in his face. Crawford is tripped.
And look at the number. 4 Raptors.
Carroll goes baseline. They 2-team him. Well, Chris Paul's battling. I assume it's going to be a jump ball with 6:51 to go in the first half. Chris helped up. Carroll gets up. And Carroll should be able to control the tap. 10 in a row here for the Raptors.
How about the Raptors, Ralph? This is their 11th road game. And they've yet to have 2 home games consecutively all season long.
Plus they were gone for a big hunk of the exhibition season, so they have not spent a whole lot of time in Toronto.
No.
So Carroll should control this tap back here between Joseph and Ross, you would assume. Tried to, mistimed it. Clippers come up with it. Paul Pierce, head down, got bumped. Drives, he gets fouled, he'll go to the line. Foul on DeMarre Carroll. Hall of Famer to be, Paul Pierce, at the age of 38. Sat out in Portland, deference to his age, so he should not be one of the weary ones. Go to the free throw line and shoot 2. Career 20.7 point per game score.
That
Finals MVP.
Puts him in some elite company. That career average over 20.
Hey fans, now through January 11th, purchase any new Kia vehicle at a participating Southern California Kia dealer, and you'll receive 2 free tickets to an upcoming Clippers home game while the supplies last. Check out Clippers.com for more information on the Slam Dunk Deal, brought to you by Kia, the official vehicle of the LA Clippers. Clippers finally in the scorebook. They have all of 5 points in 5 second quarter minutes. Ball all over Joseph. Joseph just kept going. Ran out of real estate. Out of bounds it'll go. It'll be Raptor ball with 9 in the shot clock. Now this unit right now playing with a little more energy at the defensive end at least.
Well, led by Chris Paul. That effort right there was inspiring.
DeRozan spins against Redick. Reverse layup won't fall, but he earns yet another trip to the free throw line. J.J. Redick gets the personal foul. J.J. with 13, the only Clipper with more than 6. Carroll and Scola, 12 each for the Raptors. DeRozan and Lowry have only 9 between them.
Interesting summer coming up, Ralph, for DeMar DeRozan.
What's that?
He's going to be a free agent if he chooses to be.
Well, he can opt out of his contract.
Correct, or he can opt in. I think he makes about $10 million or so, something like that. You'd say underpaid for somebody scoring 20 points a basketball game.
An all-star game 2 years ago.
Been an all-star. He scored over 20 2 different years, and then this year again. Be interesting to see what they do.
Well, it seems unlikely he will do anything other than go out and test his waters, you would think.
You're right.
Free throws are good. The lead is a staggering 18. 3 ball, short. A lot of shots have been short. Mike, that's usually a sign of tired legs.
And it's almost, you can't feel it. Like they think they're playing hard, but it's just a matter of the schedule and that travel they had to go through.
Foul is going to be called on Chris Paul. Paul gets his first, and Lance Stevenson is going to get a call. Maybe he can bring some energy onto the court. Stevenson in, Crawford is out. The fans cheer his arrival on the court. Midway through the period. So I was talking to Doc before the game. He said, I wonder why we're not playing the night game tonight, Lakers the day game, being as we played Friday night on the road. Lakers played at home Friday night. It would just make sense to have the Lakers the early game, Clippers the late game.
I totally agree.
Something worth addressing in future schedules, and I'm sure it will be addressed. Carroll gets it off late. Shot clock violation. We mentioned the extra energy in the Clipper defense. It is apparent and is effective there. Timeout in the court, but the Clippers are down by 18.
As he begins his 11th season, Chris Paul is already an 8-time NBA All-Star and currently ranks 15th on the NBA's all-time assist list. And he knows it's the hard work that he puts in off the court that allows him to continue to shine on it.
Obviously, I'm a little older. I think now I'm more focused on my body. You know, my rookie year, I was just so young, didn't really do all the stretching and all that stuff like that. When I got to the gym, it was just give me the ball, let's get on the court.
Get that knee up and around.
Now, I stretch before, I stretch after. It's all about taking care of my body.
3. That's exactly it. That's perfect.
I learned that it's all about getting to my spots and working on what I'm doing in the game.
In the corner, nice pass, great pass, right in the pocket.
He is one of the most competitive people and tough-minded people I have ever seen. 4, he's relentless. 5, perfect, Chris. 7, breathe out. 8.
It's all about efficiency.
Second, good.
It's not necessarily about game day.
Good, CP4.
It's about the days when you're tired and you want to give up.
Cross, good.
It's about those days.
Good, CP, that was great.
Now CP3 thus far held scoreless here tonight. 0 of 2 from the field. Clippers underperforming. That may be an understatement. They trail Toronto 45-27. Back to Staples Center we go.
Read it and weep. Toronto leads the Clippers 45-27. The Las Vegas Invitational is one of the top early season tournaments in college basketball, and we have all the action for you on FS1 starting Thursday with a doubleheader including the 15th ranked California Golden Bears. It all tips off Thanksgiving Day, 2 o'clock Pacific, only on FS1. 5:47 remaining in the half. Clippers yet to start in this early Sunday start.
Is Blake Griffin going to stay on the bench, Ralph?
I would think so.
With 3 fouls and not one single basket. That's only happened one time in his career.
I knew that. 5:44 to go in the half. Jordan. Foul's going to be called. Going to be against the Clippers on Chris Paul. No, it's going to be on Paul Pierce. Pierce gets his first.
And the Clippers did not make up any ground while Lowry rested. More bad news. Now they come in, Lowry and DeRozan and Carroll, their 1-2-3 combo together. for the final 5.5 here of the second.
Only non-starter in the court for the Clippers right now is Lance Stevenson. Paul Pierce playing the power forward role. DeRozan head down, runs into traffic, throws it away. There's a steal. And a foul is going to be called against Luis Scola. And the Clippers will bring the ball ahead with 5:24 to go. The offense sputtering. They have 4 points in 6.5 minutes in the second quarter. Whoa. Chris Paul. Nope. He's 0 for 3. Carroll for 3. Bingo.
I'm telling you, everything to Chris felt like that was normal. He pulled up in rhythm, he shot it. It's just your body, when it's not rested, sends the same signal to your hands and your mind as to how hard to shoot it, but the body just doesn't have the bounce.
Ready? Good closeout by Ross. Nice move to the goal. The tip won't fall. Nothing will fall for the Clippers right now. DeRozan explodes to the basket. Stevenson breaches in and fouls him.
In a game like this, Ralph, this is almost the worst team to play. They're going to play hard. They're going to scrap. They're going to fight. They're not going to overlook you.
Lost their first games in a road trip.
Yep.
Come in here and have a big game against the Lakers and win Friday night. Now they go home with a win here. They'll feel, okay, we salvaged something out of that road trip.
They, like the Clippers, a little bit desperate. Remember, they started 5-0 this year. The Raptors did, and they've lost 6 of 9.
They were 5-0?
They were 5-0 to start.
Wow.
There's Dwayne Casey. Known for his defense.
Did he get a contract extension, Dwayne?
I don't know that.
I think he did.
I hope he did.
Yeah. DeRozan, 7 of 8 at the foul line. And all your worst fears have been realized here for the Clippers so far. Paul Pierce. Offensive foul. Oh, no, not making a block. I mean, Scott Foster was all ready to call charge. Scola will draw the foul, his third of the basketball game.
That's actually a very good call. Do you see him sliding over in front? But it was close.
Scola clearly didn't think so. He said, not in Argentina, Scott Foster. Biombo comes in. Scola goes out. Scola was playing center for them, essentially. Stevenson will bring it in for the Clippers. Lance with it.
6.
Well, Lance was zigging, and Paul thought he was zagging, and the Clippers turned it over.
6.5 minutes without a basket.
Lowry brings the ball over to DeRozan. They go to the goal. Pump fake. Hunting for a foul. Didn't get it. Redick out of the pack. Ahead to Paul. Paul to Stevenson. Go to the basket. Way out to Pierce. A good look for a 3-ball. Good look or not, it's not happening. The fans just can't believe what they're seeing.
And the crowd was ready to explode.
I was ready to explode. Explode that. 20 points for Damari Carroll in the half. His season high in the game is 21, and some of the Boo Birds are out. Clippers are down by an astounding 26 points. Finally.
Finding Chris's first basket. Damari Carroll made 8 of 10 threes against the Clippers a year ago as an Atlanta Hawk.
8 of 10?
Yeah, in 2 games. He averaged 21 against them.
Holy smokers.
Boy, DeRozan is like overthinking every move.
The foul is going to be called on Stevenson. I mean, it's just like we're talking. He just wants to get to the free throw line.
That's one thing, but I mean, he's to the point where he's making an additional move, which is taking him out of the shot that's open.
2 free throws for DeMar. 2-14 All-Star, and I think Mike hinted earlier, if he could make a 3-point basket, he'd be an All-Star every year.
Yep.
They get to the line as well as anybody, these two teams. The Clippers only 5 in this game, 14, now number 15 for the Raptors. He's 9 out of 10. So he and Carroll have had like a season's worth of points, a game's worth of points in the first half. We still have 3 minutes to go. Paul Pierce. Another turnover. That's number 11.
What a dribble. What a dribble on the fly by Damari Carroll, because Chris Paul was going to eat that up and get a steal.
Now this is about as poorly as the Clippers have played at any point this year. We're in game number 13.
There's that dribble. You're right, Ralph.
They just look totally out of sorts. Carroll matches his season high with 21. Now, he played for 5 teams before this. He comes here his 6th stop, and he gets this massive contract.
Career year last year in Atlanta that just hit him at the right time. Started in Memphis, Houston, Denver, Utah, comes to Atlanta. He coincides with Mike Budenholzer taking over, employing the Spurs system where we're going to give up a good shot for a better shot, and he just fit perfectly. He was the perfect fit.
Wow.
And so that Atlanta team's trying to do it without him now.
There's a way to turn it over. The Clippers will find it.
They'll find it today, that's for sure.
Man, oh man. 2:52 to go in the half. I can't even say the score. You look at it. You tell me.
I'll see some of the highlights and the lowlights if we're talking about LA right now here in the first half. First quarter, Lob City open for business early on. CP3 to DeAndre Jordan for the big alley-oop. Blake Griffin back on the perimeter. Paul to J.J. Redick for 3. That's a long 3 ball. The Clippers taking a brief lead. And Toronto would go on a 13-3 run here. Damari Carroll with the steal. Kyle Lowry ahead to Luis Scola for the finish. Toronto widening the gap. Carroll now with the ball. Takes advantage of the pick. Pops up. A terrific first half for Damari Carroll. Second quarter now. Corey Joseph weaving in and out. You got to keep your eye on him here. Carving up the LA defense. Finishing off the spin for 2. Toronto up by 14 at that point. Another miss for the Clippers. They're being outscored here in the second quarter, 23-6. Speaking of misses, Carroll does not. He has 20 points here in the first half. While the Clippers have gone 2 for 12 from the field here in the second quarter. Turnovers galore as well for Los Angeles. 56-29. Toronto on top, just under 3 minutes to play. We'll go back to Staples Center.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in a first half. The Clippers would love to put in their rearview mirror, and let's just say the Raptors have the lead. Mark Rogandino back here with you inside of Staples Center. Be sure you stick around at halftime. It's the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. I'm sure my partner Don McClain will have plenty to say about these first 2 quarters of basketball. And if you're looking for a little bit of a blueprint of what the Clippers should do in the second half, let's go to our Carl's Cam replay. Ball movement here is certainly part of the equation, Ralph and Mike. Look at it here, with DJ finishing on the jam, but we've seen far too little of this, guys.
They have 9 assists and their 11 baskets. Sounds good, but the 11 baskets is like, ridiculous.
Yet they can't stop Toronto. So that's the problem, and that's the problem that's been happening. It happened in Portland in the fourth quarter, happened at Golden State. You got to be able to stop people to then be able to play at the pace you want to play on offense. And if the Clippers can be playing with pace and quickly, they will get that kind of ball movement and then climb back into the game. But it's got to be down here on this end.
They're spending way too much time taking the ball out of the basket.
Now there they got to stop, but the reason they didn't run this time is because they had a play drawn up from the timeout.
CP3 right elbow jumper bouncing in. Animated huddle after the club broke from the coaching staff. Both DeAndre Jordan and Chris Paul were in the faces of their teammates, just beseeching them to come on, let's get this right. Let's come back and get back in this ball game. They've seen big leagues evaporate. They'd like to do a job of making this one evaporate. Shot clock's down to 4. Stevenson gets a late foul in the possession. Lance gets number 3.
That was fortunate for Toronto because Lance kind of misstepped And so when you're a defender and you fall out of position, and you're not in a good, solid, legal guarding position, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. But he didn't really do anything wrong except kind of lose his balance at the wrong moment.
Raptors beat the Lakers here 102-91. Friday night. Free throw bouncing in by Carroll. Season high 22 now for Damari. Career high is 26 at this point.
You know, when Carroll showed up here, first question is, how are you going to fit into this team? And he said, actually, it's really like a college team. They're young. I know all the guys get along. He said it's been an easy fit so far.
I guess it has been. Paul trying to do it himself, but doesn't happen there. Biombo the rebound, and Lowry brings it up inside the 2-minute mark. Lowry over the right shoulder.
This guy's just a winner.
That's his first field goal.
That's the scary part. He and DeRozan are 1 for 11 from the field, and the lead is almost 30.
Wesley Johnson, 3-ball, bingo. Wesley's 9th 3 as a Clipper, 60-34. DeRozan.
He's got a mismatch now. See what he does. DJ's pretty good here.
They knock it away, but it comes right back to him with 3. Terrence Ross misses. Jordan rebounds his 9th board of the first half. Minute remaining. Johnson trying for 2 in a row off the front rim. And Lowry will bring the ball ahead. 3-ball, bingo.
He's been amazing on this trip. He's made 16 threes on the trip. Give him 2 more now, or 1 more now. 17 on this.
His 40th of the year. That's a 29-point lead, folks. Paul finds DeAndre Jordan. He gets wrestled and fouled. He'll shoot free throws.
You can tell by that Toronto was well coached. Anytime DJ touches it, do not let him dunk it. We're going to foul him immediately. That's exactly how they behaved.
Man, I just didn't see this coming at all. I thought this is, beginning of a stretch of 7 games at home in 8 days. The guys are going to look at this schedule and say, okay, the time is now. Well, maybe not quite.
I had a couple of people say to me, Clippers are going to blow these guys out of the building. I said, listen, Toronto was here waiting for them, and the Clippers been traveling. I said, it's going to be one of those grinded out matches. Well, we're both wrong so far.
4 in the shot clock. Oh, boy. That's number 13. They've matched their season average of turnovers in the first half, 13.
Tell me fatigue is not a part of it. But it doesn't matter.
You just have to battle through in the NBA. Every team goes through that.
That's exactly right.
Rebound. Paul almost had it at the buzzer, and the disastrous first half come to an end. Man, oh man, the Boo Birds are out at Staples Center. You can't believe them. Clippers outscored 30-11 in the second quarter of this basketball game. Oh, me. Oh, my. Second half's got to be better. Don't go away. Score at the half. Raptors lead the Clippers 63-34. Invite you to stick around for Mercedes-Benz halftime report with Mark Rogandino and Don McClain. You're watching Clippers basketball on Prime Ticket. Around for the second half. Hope you can join us. Who knows what's going to happen? Clippers down 63-34. Here's the drive to the hoop presented by Hyundai.
One of those rare occasions where the Clippers got it out quickly. It was even after a made hoop. Look at that. Blake got it into Chris Paul, and the best running big in the ball game, getting ahead of 4 Raptors and overpowering the other. DJ had 3 field goals. That's more than Chris and Blake combined.
I thought, okay, they're going to be all right here tonight, or this afternoon. But look at this. Damari Carroll matches his absolute season average, season high, previous season high at 21. J.J. Redick, 13 in the first quarter, and there's been nothing else offensively for this club at all.
Yeah, J.J. only got 1 shot in the second quarter after that terrific first. But look at how historic this deficit is.
Get out of here.
You're going way back. I can't do that math, Ralph, but is that
a long time ago?
Yeah.
I got that figured out.
30 years.
Raptors have the basketball to start the half. Scola wide open 3-ball. Paul the rebound. Same five to start of the game. Pierce, Griffin, Jordan, Redick, and Paul.
The one thing you don't want to have happen,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
is have Blake Griffin get a foul here.
I prefer that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the worst of all worlds, for him to pick up another foul, have to go sit down, and quite frankly, Doc would even probably let him play through a fourth foul, just because they need him out there.
Clippers 29-point deficit, the biggest deficit they've faced since last March 23rd. They were down by 32 in a game in Dallas to the Mavericks. They did not come back and win it. Paul picks up the personal foul, his first of the ball game. Out of bounds it'll go to the Raptors.
But we saw a team just, 3 days ago on this court come back from 23. It is doable. If the Clippers were to do it, it would be the largest come-from-behind win all season long in the entire NBA.
Carroll. And inadvertently tapped right back to the Raptors. A long 3-ball. And the Clippers bring the ball ahead. CP3.
But Carroll is everywhere.
DeAndre, nice move, but didn't finish it. Does get the rebound. Good job by Jordan. They find a shooter. Paul Pierce.
That's kind of how it's gone.
Clippers 3 for 13 from deep.
Quite frankly, Ralph, they just have not made threes all year.
Well, you know, the first 7 games, they're 27%. The last 5, they've been 38%. So I thought maybe they were coming. Griffin, here's a 3-point shooter. Bingo.
He's done it all year to the tune of 40% or higher, and a very quick timeout by Toronto.
Yeah, a little 5-0 run to start the half by the Clippers, and Dwayne Casey said, I've seen crazier things happen. I don't want to see it happen here today. But the Raptors lead 63-39.
Why do we play? We play for jumpers, passers, and shooters. We play for driveway one-on-ones, playground heroes, and the clutch vet at the Y. We play for ballers, shot callers, game changers, and life changers. We play for the east side, west side, north side, and south side. We play for the drama, the suspense, and even the comedy. We play for comebacks, paybacks, and givebacks. For breaking through, breaking barriers, and paradigms. We play for chasing a dream, on and off the court. We play for all that and whatever comes. This is why we play.
Everybody buckle up. It's going to be wild. I can't believe what I just saw.
Wow. What a play. Doesn't get any better than that.
Well, we can't wait for this one to start.
The good news is Clippers scored the only 5 points here in the third quarter. The bad news is the scoreboard as we go to Kyle Montgomery.
And no doubt about that, Rob. Got a chance to catch up with Clippers assistant coach Mike Woodson headed into the second half here, and his demeanor was much like the rest of the Clippers players. Very, very disappointed with the way the team has played thus far. In fact, he was shorter with me just a few minutes ago than he's ever been in my time with the Clippers. He said, listen, we have to compete. That's as simple as it's going to get. I have nothing else to say. Guys, be nice to see the Clippers put together a good third quarter. Doc Rivers says this is the quarter they used to hang their hats on. So it'll be nice to see them put a good stretch together and get back in this game.
Kyle Montgomery with our Kia quick take.
I think Woody's probably just mad at Kyle.
Probably with good reason.
Yeah.
DeRozan, there's that mid-range jumper. There's a large part of his game. Only his second field goal of the game. 9 of his 13 points coming at the line. There's a foul. Being Damari Carroll. Carroll picks up his second personal foul of the game. Non-shooting foul. Clippers will bring it in. Down by 26 points. Ball. Chris is 2 for 7. Lowry. You know, there are more teams with good records in the East right now than there are in the West. A little bit of a shift of power. Scola misses.
I don't think the East has like 4 teams that can win it all. You just don't think of them that way. But I think, 1 through 9, the East has some quality opponents, some quality teams.
Redick. He'll fire, go to the free throw line. Free throws for Chris Paul. He'll shoot 2. So, sure shooting J.J. Redick will step up the line. 3 out of 3 from deep, 3 out of 3 from the line. He'll shoot 2. He's made 23 of 25 this year. Hey fans, with Clippers season tickets, you get the best value and a guaranteed seat to every sold-out game. See Blake, CP3, and DJ live at Staples Center for as little as $22 a ticket. Visit Clippers.com for season ticket information and view the available locations. Clipper Nation, together we will. So help me. Lowry poked away nicely by DeAndre Jordan off his knee. Out of bounds it goes to the Clippers. Paul all the way to the basket. Missed the shot. Jordan goes up with a slam. He's fouled hard enough. He could not guide it home. Foul's going to be called against Lowry.
It is the 3rd on Lowry. That could be troublesome to the Raptors, given that he had to give up that foul because they're
Settle
trying
down, Mike Smith. They're up by how many? 125 points.
Well, if the Clippers make a run, this becomes a ball game. Aren't you thinking it's ever going to become a game?
Where's my haggle paddle? Jordan will be at the line. I've seen stranger things, but there's just no sign of it right now. That's the thing. You saw a sense of fire out there right now and tremendous intensity at the defensive end and grabbing every rebound. You might think, well, maybe so.
There's a 10-0 run in. There's a 10-0 run happening in this quarter in favor of the Clippers.
Oh, thank you. I was getting ready to get up and leave. Jordan makes 1 out of 2 at the line. That's the best thing that's happened in a while. 65-41. Toronto on top.
That's on Chris.
You're saying he grabbed me. His second foul. Out of bounds it goes to Toronto. The non-shooting foul.
Chris
First fly out tomorrow afternoon to Denver. Not an easy place to go and try to get right, to get your legs back in that mile-high atmosphere.
And Denver better than a lot of people thought so far.
Then they go back-to-back against the defensive-minded Utah team. Biyombo travels. Out of bounds it'll go to the Clippers. Biyombo did kind of an air punch, and that's often a technical foul. Didn't get that. So here comes Chris Paul. 4 points, 7 assists. It's short. Biyombo the rebound. Not a bad job filling in. That's his 9th board in 20 minutes. Lowry takes it to the baseline. Try to get it to Biyombo. It's off a Clipper foot, out of bounds to go. They'll reset the shot clock to 14. Raptors will bring it in near sideline. I was directed by a Twitter handle, Lace Me Up. I think I'd said that Carroll's contract was $80 million 4 years. It's only $58 million.
Yeah, it was closer to 60. I didn't want to correct you on the air, but
that didn't bother Lace Me Up.
No, of course not.
Why would it bother you?
I let all my Twitter people do it.
Griffin. A little indecision, that's what happens. Carroll comes up short. Clippers 3-on-3. Griffin running to the rim, throws it in, it's not going to count. DeRozan picks up the personal foul. Crawford will come in for the Clippers, and Paul Pierce will come out. Paul's just having difficulty scoring points. Only gotten 2 shots, both of them 3-pointers, both of them missed. Griffin at distance. He's against Scola again.
See, Scola's not going to go for any fakes. He's just low to the ground. He's going to stay grounded and make Blake earn it there.
Back tap. Hey, Biombo's been all right. Valanciunas, a regular starter, out with a broken bone in his left hand.
Biombo again.
Redick into the offensive end, drops it back to Chris Paul. Griffin, straight away. Paul gets it back, steps out of the paint, and resets. Elbow jumper.
That looked a little bit like Clipper basketball right there. DJ keeping it alive. Second possession right into a little middle pick and roll where Chris gets to where he likes to get that mid shot. Little 12 to 15 footer.
You're thinking the Clippers have him right where they want him now then, huh?
No, I don't think that yet.
Scola works with it. Carroll.
But I'll tell you if they get close.
Lowry knocked away. Great job by DeAndre Jordan. Got all ball. Paul for 3. Bingo! Chris Paul knocks down the 3 ball. His first long ball of the game. Clippers 5 out of 16 from deep. 21-point lead for the Raptors.
And all of a sudden CP 7 of his last 15 from deep. So the hand feeling good. That shot returning.
DeRozan. Scola. DeAndre active defensively. 1 on the shot clock. Jordan gets the rebound. His 12th of the ball game. The first real head of steam the Clippers have shown today. Redick for 3. In and out. That'll rock the roof right off this building. But it didn't happen.
And Lowry smart enough to walk it up. Get his guys situated and make sure they get a good shot.
DeRozan inside the Biombo, and he scores.
You get anything offensively from Biombo, and it's a plus.
Bismack Biombo.
Former lottery pick of the Hornets, right? Michael Jordan drafted him.
Crawford. He's fouled. Free throws coming for Jamal Crawford. Biombo gets his first foul.
Here's the play by DJ. Hands. They were a little slow to pick it up, but it ended up in an early opportunity. And I told you, Chris struggled getting out of the shoot this year. He began like 7 of his first 25, but now the 3 ball's coming for him.
Crawford's free throw in the air, and that's a miss. He'd made 21 in a row. Yikes. Averaged 22.5 a game the last 4. He's stuck on 2 today. Joseph comes in. DeRozan goes out. Biombo will sit down, and Patrick Patterson will replace him. So Jamal Crawford one more time at the line. The number 2 foul shooter in the league coming in here at 96%. Makes 1 for 2. 22-point cushion. Raptors led by 29 at the half. 4 minutes to go in the third. Joseph. Oh, there's a foul on Crawford. Got up in the air and came down on Lowry. Crawford will draw the personal foul, his first. Redick will go out. Rivers will come in for the Clippers in the backcourt. JJ 17 points, only Clipper in double figures. Carroll will inbound right in front of us. Corey Joseph got a ring in San Antonio with the Spurs. From the corner, Patterson misses. What a tap! Desperation tap by Scola, just swatted it back in. Man, oh man. 71-47. A great spacing throughout. But don't get the goal to fall. Rebound, a good one by Blake Griffin. That beautiful, but just nothing happened.
It's been that kind of an afternoon.
Sure has been.
Blake has 2 points in the ballgame. Averaging 26.
1 for 6 from the field. Patterson, a handoff to Carroll. 3 minutes remaining, 5 in the shot clock. Joseph against Paul. Another rebound. Picked up by Griffin. Saved somehow by Paul. 3-point shot from the corner. Fans just dying for something to happen here, Mike. They just can't wait to see something to cheer and yell and shout about.
How many of these threes have been contested?
Not a lot. They're 5 out of 19. But those that aren't just aren't falling. So free throws coming for the Clippers when we come back. 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Clippers down by 24.
The Clippers have outscored the Raptors here in the third quarter, but still trail 71-47, and the Clippers' spirit have returned to center court.
Your chick come close to me. She ain't going home when she supposed to pay. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to pay. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to pay. Oh, that's how I'm supposed to pay. Yeah, that's how I'm supposed to pay. Yeah, that's how I'm supposed to pay. Everything look like I'm supposed to pay. Banging the drum like dum-dee-dee-day. I know you want it in the worst way. I wanna hear you calling my name like
yes, I be your woman. Yes, I be your baby. Yes, I be whatever that you tell me when you're ready. Yes, I be your girl, forever your lady. You ain't never got work. I'm down for you, baby. Best believe that when you need that, I'll provide that. You will always have it. I'll be on deck, keep it in check. When you need that, I'ma let you have it. Beating the drum like dum-dee-dee-day. I like the dirty rhythm you play. I wanna hear you calling my name like
The Clippers Spirit. Skechers is the official footwear of the Clippers Spirit.
Toronto Raptors over the Clippers. They spanked the Clippers twice last year. Hey, this week is rivalry week in college football, and we'll bring you plenty of bad blood, including Texas Tech, Texas, Washington State for the Apple Cup, and the Civil War between Oregon State and Oregon. It all begins Thanksgiving Day on FS1 and Fox. Wow. Wes Johnson is in for the Clippers. Blake Griffin takes the seat. 2 points for Griffin. 9 for Paul. Chris at the line trying to become the Clippers' second double-digit scorer. 84% in the year. Even though free throws haven't been easy, the ones they've made.
You can chalk those up to fatigue, I'm telling you. Crawford, a 90% foul shooter, missing. Redick, a 90% foul shooter, missing.
And even a couple that he made were bouncing and rolling around the rim. He never touches anything. But now
Blake's never been in foul trouble this whole season, but immediately in foul trouble this ball game. Twice.
22-point lead. There's a foul on Paul out front. Paul gets his third, non-shooting. Josh Smith will enter for the Clippers. Paul will go out. 2:22 remaining. Farrell will inbound the basketball. Comes to Corey Joseph. He's born in Toronto. Scola, little ball fake inside, head fake. Missed the shot. Rebound, Josh Smith. Bounces it ahead to Crawford. Ten the shot clock. Josh Smith. 5 on the clock. Rivers for 3. Air ball. Shot clock violation. This has been one ugly performance by the Clippers.
Easily their worst of the year.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. There's J.J. Redick on the sideline, stoic.
Yeah, they're stunned. They're stunned. And when all the talk after the consecutive losses.
Blocked by DeAndre Jordan, his 5th block shot of the game.
Started to mount. You know, these guys were not saying it's panic time. Nobody's been saying that, but we're concerned. We need to start playing better. That's kind of been the theme. Sense of urgency. We heard that. I don't think they're worried long term that they got the wrong team or that they can't compete. Thursday night against Golden State says, yeah, you can compete with anybody.
Good job by Wes Johnson.
They were lackluster at Phoenix. They were lackluster at Portland.
They've been lackluster too much. I don't understand that.
You're right.
They just haven't come out with a fire in their eyes. We saw what happens when they do in that first quarter against Golden State. They were positively spectacular.
Ball was moving, playing with pace. Defensively, they were after people.
Gosh, if anybody knew the answer, they'd say, here, do this. Oh, hadn't thought of that.
The answer is always back to work, back to the basics, get after it.
Time now for the CarMax fan photo of the game. Today it's at Senti16. Be sure to share those pictures and hashtag Clippers Brightside in your Instagram photo to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. CarMax, the bright side of car buying.
The best teams in basketball work on what they do. Jerry Sloan's Utah teams that made the playoffs years in a row, 20-some-odd years in a row. Did they ever scout their opposition in the preseason? No. They were working on their system. That's what San Antonio does. That's what Doc does too. They got to perfect their own stuff. That's the boxing out. That's the ball movement. That's the defensive schemes.
And that's where the 8 changes that were made in the lineup has been awkward for the club. They got an awful lot of work to do with guys that just haven't been in the system before. There's one of them right there, Lance Stevenson and Josh Smith. A couple of key acquisitions that are just still hunting for their way. Haven't found it just yet. Scola tied up. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan's been active here in the third quarter. They'll jump it up at the Toronto foul line. Shot clock showing 2.2. So if Toronto were to control the tap, they'd have to get off a quick shot. Scola will jump against Jordan. You expect DJ to control easily. He does. Not an easy one for Wes Johnson. That's nice. Noni had the advantage. The volleyball swat into the front court. The Clippers will cut it inside 20. It's 18. 45 seconds to go. Into the corner. Good ball movement. They find a shooter. Clippers get it back. Slam dunk. Here come the Clippers. 16-point game. James Johnson up court. He'd love to get a steal and a bucket here. 2 seconds separate the shot in the game clock. The fans finally making some noise. Clippers finally gave him something to make some noise about. Ross goes down. Did he get the timeout? No, it's a jump ball. 3.9 seconds remaining. It's just odd why fire is sometimes in the belly and sometimes it's not. Suddenly it's gotten reignited here. And DeAndre may try what they just tried a moment ago.
Well, you got to believe Toronto would be ready for it. He should just tip it to Jamal and let Jamal go make a three on the fly. Oh, he didn't even win the tip.
Joseph from behind can't get it in. They're going to put some time on the clock. The quarter's not over. And call it a shot clock violation. So there'll be whatever the math shows here.
I think 1.8.
The doc checks to see whether or not he wants to use the 20-second timeout. 1.8 from the backcourt. He says, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, that was the difference. Those refs look at that. 3.9, 2.1. That shot didn't hit anything. The buzzer. They're going to get a favorable.
So Josh Smith will inbound it. Wes Johnson will turn, shoot a three off the glass. Had that fallen, it'd have been a 13-point game. But it's 16 the way it is. An 8-0 run to finish the period for the Clippers. A trail 71-55.
Well, 71-55 Raptors in front, but their lead is closing. We go back to Staples Center and let's check out the Clippers dunk squad.
Right here on the court, they want you to hold the ball, raise your hand, just like that. Brett, you are brave, my friend. I'm going to get out the way of this one. Here we go. You guys ready for your LA Clippers dunk team? Make some noise. Here comes Double A. He's up. Woo! The louder you get, the better the tricks. Let me hear you out here. Come on. There goes Vaughn. He's up. It's good. Here comes Josh. Behind him, Antoine. It's good. Double A coming at you. Behind him is Vaughn with the flip. Goal. You want to see it again? Make some noise, Clippers fans.
Now here's Too Much Good Stuff, brought to you by AM/PM.
Josh. Yeah! Make some noise for your Clippers dunk team!
Showed a little fire there late in the period. Scored what, the last 8 points, was it?
Yeah, so there's an 8-0 run. If they get a bucket here, there'd be your 10-row run.
They have the ball to start the period.
But Toronto only scores 8 points in the quarter.
8?
So, I mean, it's hard to argue with what they did defensively there. Now, the Clippers were not great in that quarter, but still, they chipped away 13 points off the lead. They got a chance here if they can start here with some fire.
Austin Rivers makes it 10-0. You promised us a 10-0 run. There it is, Mike Smith, 71-57. The Clippers at least have them within their sights now. Still kind of blurry, but it's there. DeRozan, Clippers all over him, but commit a foul. You almost forgive a foul of aggression right now, but you hate to send this guy to the free throw line. He's made 9 out of 10.
That's a ton of free throws on this trip. 41 free throws on this Short little trip to the West Coast.
It's just his constant effort. Every possession. How do I get to the line? Johnson comes out. Biombo comes back in. He started at center for the injured Valanciunas.
This trip started in Sacramento. That was a close game. Lost. Golden State, they were tied with about 2 minutes to go. Lost that one. DeRozan had 28 in that one. Then they lost to the Jazz, who the Clippers are going to see Wednesday, and their great defense. And then they beat the Lakers the other night.
Here comes Rivers.
The runner, they got away with it, Ralph. Nobody touched the ball in the possession. There was not one pass, and they got away with it by getting a bucket.
Back to 14. Oh, Smith almost had a pick.
Don't foul him. Make him earn it.
I think they did foul him, but it did not get a whistle. No turnover now. Careful, John. Here's Crawford.
This is Seattle against Seattle right here.
3 ball, and he's fouled. Oh, that could have been a 4-point play.
But they'll take it.
So Ross gets the foul, his first, and Crawford, a 96% foul shooter coming in, will shoot 1, 2, 3. And he can make this an 11-point ball game.
And, I mean, look at the fans who've stuck it out here. They're all here still.
Well, I had to fasten your seatbelt or you'd have been gone.
I was ready to go.
Free throw's good. You got to have faith in the Clippers, Mike Smith. Hey, Clipper Nation, how would you like to win 4 seats on the floor in the Jerome's Furniture Lounge on Monday, November 30th versus the Portland Trail Blazers? To find out how, log on to clippers.com/promotions and enter today. First 2 free throws are good. I never had a doubt about the Clippers coming back to this one.
Yeah, wait a minute. How are you turning this around on me? I'm the one who said they'd have a 10-0 run, and I said, don't you think so? And you said, where's my microphone?
I knew I heard it in television somewhere. Crawford's third free throw.
11-point game.
73-62, folks.
And a quick call to Kyle Lowry, who will be in on the next dead ball. Dwayne Casey says, no way I'm waiting.
They've done this with Paul and Griffin on the bench, the Clippers have. Joseph misses. Smith goes to get the rebound. Single digits within sight. The lob. No jam, but he's fouled. Free throws coming for DeAndre Jordan.
And I guess if the foul occurs after the catch, they'll give him 2 shots.
They are indeed.
So you could foul him on that before, but just great vision by Smith. And DJ's so far from the hoop. But Biombo fouls him, and DJ, I'm telling you, these 2 free throws would cause the crowd to go crazy if you knock him down.
DeAndre's 1 out of 2. So he's 8 for 16 in his last 3 games, counting this one. Never had a chance. Kyle Lowry comes back. Austin Rivers comes over to talk to defensive guru Lawrence Frank. And Jordan will try to make it a 10-point ball game. Clippers trail by 29 at the half, in case you missed a scintillating half of basketball. That one bounces and hangs and bounces out. 73-62, the Raptors up by 11. Clippers just a different ball club defensively now. So much more life. So much more spring in their step. Patterson. DeRozan with 5 on the clock. Just can't foul him. He'll shoot it. Rebound. Oh, Corey Joseph gets it. Loose ball foul against Joseph. Out of bounds for the Clippers. Blake Griffin's going to come in. Somebody has to go out. DeAndre Jordan will legs it. Clippers almost had that 6-man offense, which is very, very effective, but not allowed. So the Clippers with the basketball, another opportunity to cut this to a single-digit ball game. Crawford. Josh Smith for three. Oh, in and out. He's hopping in the backcourt, thinking he thought he had that one made. Lowry, the lob, broken up, taken by the Clippers. Griffin motoring up court. Back to Rivers for three. Online but short. Rivers for two.
All the while, Toronto, after that stellar, and I'm kidding, third quarter, they've missed 10 shots in a row.
9-point ball game.
Clippers defense digging in.
The fans screaming for defense.
Boy, Corey Joseph not even looking at the rim at all.
Patterson thought about it. 2 on the clock falls. Oh me, oh my, with 1.2 seconds on the clock. They get tangled up. It'll be a foul called on Rivers. Now officials' timeout will be taken. 8 minutes and 58 seconds to go. Stunningly, we have ourselves a game. Clippers within 9.
Sideline brings you the week's best social media from the NBA world. After the Lakers win on Sunday,
Nick Young has it. Nick Young scores.
Nick Young, a.k.a. Swaggy P, compared his team to a boy band, saying the team's defense was in sync, while, of course, wearing an in-sync shirt. He has the look to be in a boy band, and his fiancée seems to agree. Of course, she knows a thing or two about a hit song. And speaking of a hit song, I Believe I Could Fly. Before the Nets' first win of the season, R. Kelly letting it fly from the three-point line during the pregame.
Hey, that's the one y'all send YouTube.
Now, could he be the good luck charm the Nets were missing? The Kings took Baby, Baby, Baby to a whole new level, holding a baby race during a break in the action. Look at that girl go. And from R&B to rap, Toronto made headlines with the announcement of their upcoming Drake Night on November 25th when they host the Cavs. And LeBron also made headlines this week.
Prison home for three.
Moving into 19th place on the all-time career scoring list, passing the logo Jerry West. And finally, 2 posters were created, one with Kawhi Leonard and the other with DeMar DeRozan.
DeRozan throws down a vicious, nasty slam.
We'll be back next week with all the social buzz, so tweet, Insta, and Vine the NBA, and maybe you'll make the cut.
Welcome back inside Staples Center, where the Clippers have outscored the Raptors 30-10 in the second half and now find themselves only down by 9 with about 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Let's check out our out-of-town scoreboard presented by American Airlines. Proud to be the official airline of the LA Clippers and LA's #1 airline. A couple of games to keep an eye on tonight. The Mavericks might be the second hottest team in the league next to Golden State, winners of 6 straight. They'll meet up with the Thunder, still without Kevin Durant. After we're done here at Staples Center, the Lakers will host Damian Lillard and the Blazers. And of course, all eyes will be on the Warriors tonight, meeting up with the Nuggets. Golden State with a chance to match the best start in league history at 15-0. But they're in Denver with that altitude. I don't know if they can pull that one out, Mike.
We shall see. They are the best team in basketball right now.
Clippers trying to come up with the biggest comeback win of the season in the NBA. They gave up a 23-point lead the other day. Ball will go out of bounds and a non-shooting foul. 14 on the shot clock.
Just by the way the Raptors reacted to that non-free throw call, you can tell how important it is for them to score right now.
There's nothing casual about it, was there?
That's right.
Broken up.
So there's concern in their minds coming out of a timeout huddle.
Johnson inside. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. Guess that Laker court he was used to was a little bit wider than this Clipper court. That hurt. 73-64. Toronto on top. 8.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Ralph Lawler, Mike Smith, Kyle Montgomery. Great to have you along on Prime Ticket. Joseph crosses over.
He's not looking to shoot at all.
Will shoot, blocked by Smith. Griffin goes up to get it. He went to the top floor for that one. Blake. Very quiet ball game. Broken up by Lowry. Loose ball foul on Griffin. That's it's going to be against Johnson. Wes Johnson with a foul.
It's the first time all year I've seen Blake be a little tentative, and it's probably because of the early fouls. It's taken out of his rhythm. He's coming on the floor, and then he's looking to hand it off instead of attack mode. Right now is time, nothing to lose. Go for it.
Boy, 2 chances to cut it to 7 or 6, and the Clippers have come up short with turnovers both times. Lowry into the corner. Joseph in traffic. He got it back somehow.
No shot.
Winds down. DeRozan for 3. That's not his game. Loose ball foul against the Raptors on Biyombo. There's a case of where Josh Smith had that position. Fundamental basketball.
They continue to get stops.
The Clippers now lead the rebounding battle, 38-37. Clippers haven't won the rebounding battle this year, I don't think, in a game. This is game 13.
I know they're getting out rebounded 7 each game.
Austin Rivers will bring the ball ahead. Now they got to score here.
Good idea.
Johnson. Bingo!
Great ball movement, great design. You get a defense moving side to side, and all of a sudden you're going to get an open look. You got to bury it, and Wesley did.
No question now. Clippers back into the game within 6. 7:20 to go. Lowry. Good defense by Rivers. Griffin, a man possessed. Smith for 3, no! Griffin fights for it, can't get it. Carroll has it. Lowry back on the attack. Carroll a big first half. 2 points, no points in the second half.
You don't need to panic anymore. It's time to just play solid basketball. You've got enough time to win this game.
Carroll misses. Rebound.
How did he get it back?
I have no idea.
How did he get it back?
And a new clock to work with. A really costly exchange, and Doc Rivers sees that, senses that, calls timeout. Clippers within 8. 6.5 minutes to go in the game. 75-67. Wesley Johnson, a big hoop here.
This one was a 20-2 run by the Clippers. Stick around.
Everybody buckle up. It's going to be wild.
In case you needed to get another look at that insane dunk by DeMar DeRozan over Rudy Gobert on Tuesday night, here are a few more angles of it so you can marvel at his high-flying artistry.
Jazz with an average of 14 turnovers on the season. Tonight, 17. DeRozan runs by, hammers it over Gobert. Big play.
Looked like DeRozan may have. Boy, this is one heck of a dunk. He catches Rudy too far underneath the basket and just dunks right over him.
Up high. My goodness.
That was a dunk.
Well, the Clippers are outscoring the Raptors here in this quarter, 33-12. They're outscoring the Raptors in the fourth quarter, 12-4, and have cut it to single digits. Only an 8-point game now, 6:31 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Blake Griffin, he was held scoreless in that first half. He's been able to engineer a couple of nice offensive plays here. There you see that dunk earlier this week that DeMar DeRozan laid down on Rudy Gobert, the Utah Jazz. 34 minutes here tonight, and DeRozan has 19 points. On the season, he's averaging 14 on 40% shooting. The Raptors trying to hold on here again, 75-67. Back to Staples Center we go.
Who had all the energy, the efficiency. DeMar Carroll had that 21-point first half. DeRozan was getting to the line, effective. Raptors led by a bundle at halftime. Redick's been there all game. And CP with a lob to DJ. And all of a sudden, Ralph, the defense has clicked. And believe it or not, the Raptors score fewer points in the third quarter than they've scored all season long. 8. They've only scored 12 in the entire second half with 6 minutes to go.
So the Clippers will bring the ball ahead. Chris Paul on the bench, 6.5 minutes remaining, trailing by 8. Rivers to Crawford. Crawford against Joseph. Down the lane. Rivers, 3 ball. Back tap, but it comes off to Joseph, and he's fouled by Smith. But
So
Josh Smith gets the foul.
You're right, Ralph. The inability to convert some of those chances, the odds are working against you that you're going to shut Toronto down every possession, that you're going to keep them off the foul line. Now you're over the limit, and all of a sudden they get a layup from DeRozan, a chance for free throws from Joseph.
82% foul shooter. And a 4-year, $30 million free agent deal after 4 years with the Spurs.
It's actually a very fortunate contract. I didn't think he was that kind of a player. But it is a homecoming coming back to Toronto, and they lost Lou Williams and lost Vasquez. They needed a good backup guard.
Now it's back up to 10. Clippers don't want to let him off the hook here. Austin.
Is there a
They've been over 3 of their last 4 possessions. And that'll bring Chris Paul back in, along with DeAndre Jordan, before it's too late.
This is Kyle Lowry time.
DeRozan trying to split the defenders, couldn't do so. Carroll scoreless in the second half. Rebound comes off to Josh Smith. Need a hoop here. Running to the rim is Griffin. He'll go up in traffic. And offensive foul on Blake Griffin.
How is that an offensive foul?
So Blake gets number 4. So
Doc's
wipe
looking
away
at
that. That's another turnover.
Look, Doc's waiting for the replay, and now Doc just saw the replay. I can't wait to see the replay. So he gets position. No foul yet. He just turns into his shot. Both hands are on the ball. And Damari Carroll, a guy with a defensive reputation, hits the deck. And Blake, it is almost laughable.
Or cryable.
Because that's the way it's gone.
So Corey Joseph brings it back. That's number 4 on Blake Griffin. But most of all, it's the turnover and the lack of getting a bucket. I thought it was going to be a 3-point play for him.
Sure looked like it. Lowry will get a lot of touches right now.
Scola. Ouch.
Sometimes when you climb the ladder and you get close, you don't get over the hump.
One of those 4-point turnarounds, huh?
Yep, makes it so hard to climb it again, but they got to find that energy with 5 to go.
Ladder's still around here somewhere. There's time for it. 5:16 to go. Clippers down 79-67.
Well, we take a look at some of the top performers from tonight's game, and we start with the Raptors and Damari Carroll getting a leaner early on here in the first quarter. This was all Toronto. They outscored LA 33-23. Carroll leading the charge. Here you saw the steal, the finish. Carroll using the nice pick there to pop just outside the elbow, giving Toronto the lead. Now up 18. Carroll launching from the wing. That put Toronto up by more than 20 again. That was his 19th point. Carroll finishing with 19 in the first half. A little bit slow here in the second half, but well, Toronto's only scored 14 points as they try to hold on here with this lead over the Clippers. 21 points for Damari Carroll on 8 of 13. Very impressive for the former Atlanta Hawks. On the flip side, LA sluggish in the first half, but JJ Redick anything but sluggish. Found the hot hand early from all angles. Tied at 11, launching straight away from 3. He was one of the few Clippers that had a hot hand shooting. His team only made 3 field goals in the second quarter. Here you see in the third quarter, Clippers starting to come alive. And Redick sporting his new ink on the left arm. Big tattoo. He said he wants a full sleeve at some point. Well, Redick definitely had some hot shooting up his sleeve. 17 points here tonight. 5 of 10 from the field, including 3 three-pointers. Back to the game we go.
Point Raptor lead, but we're going down to the wire in this one. Bring you back inside. Mark Organdino here with you on Prime Ticket. Make sure you stick around. We're done with the game coverage. It's time for some Clippers Live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. All the sound, highlights, and analysis from today's game. But before we get back to the game action here, let's go to today's top-tier dunk presented by Arco. And who else would you put in the spotlight? DeAndre Jordan. It starts with the ball in the hands of Chris Paul. And in transition, he'll find DJ making that run right to the front of the rim. And a perfectly timed lob pass into the hands of DeAndre Jordan. and the big fella knows how to do the rest. We need to see a little bit more of that, Ralph and Mike, and obviously a little more defense from the Clippers down the stretch.
5:16 to go in the basketball game. Clippers have trimmed a 29-point lead. They had it down to 6. It stretched back out to 12 with 6 unanswered points for the Raptors. And the Raptors now are energized defensively.
Good job by Lowry not letting Chris Paul go to the right. He foiled that little last sequence of the Clippers.
5 minutes remain. The ball was kicked. Shot clock set to 14. Paul will inbound. J.J. Redick is back. 9 on the clock. Blake Griffin open. Shoot it. Get it. That's his second field goal of the basketball game, folks.
The one thing that the Raptors have lacked, Ralph, is that superstar. That's why I don't think they can come out of the East. They won't get past a Cleveland with a LeBron. They have the 2 really good players. These
got to
guys.
go back to Vince Carter facing McGrady.
Yep.
And that's going back, folks.
Don't foul him.
He stepped on the bounds. Clippers get it back. The court's equally narrow at both ends. Wants to come up, push the ball up court. Walk it up court. Time to waste some game.
Get into it sooner.
Redick! Mayambo the rebound. So this young guy from the Republic of Congo has come in, got his first start of the year, has 14 rebounds. DeRozan will back down.
He's in
Good
the
defense. 8 in the shot clock. Managed to foul on the pass off, but they're over the limit. Fouls against J.J. Redick, his 3rd of the game. So free throws for both ball clubs the rest of the way. And DeRozan will go to the line, a familiar spot. He's made 11 of 12 foul shots.
That's all he's done.
You know, he's loved being home here for the last 4 days or so. Free throw is good.
Going back to his pending free agency at the end of the year, he says, I'm tired of people asking me about it. He said, I take a lot of pride in being the longest tenured Raptor. I want to hold those records. I want to be here.
Well, good for him. Of course, money can make you change your tune on that too, and somebody might just make him an offer he cannot turn down. He has 21 points in this ball game. The lead's back to a dozen. Offensive foul on the Clippers. I mean, turnover after turnover after turnover have plagued them here in this 4th quarter. Clippers have 20 turnovers in the game. 5 of them in this period. 5 in 8 minutes.
2 of them offensive fouls.
So here comes Kyle Lowry. Time's a wasting now. We're down to 3:45. That one's going to be on Lowry. So they give it back. But you can't just trade empty possessions here. You have to get some points when you have the ball. Chris Paul. Crawford. The lob, the jam! What a play by both Crawford and DeAndre Jordan. 81-71.
Can you string together 3 stops? Get you right back in it.
Joseph. Scola. Not much happening yet. Good job by Crawford.
Boy, they are so dependent on Lowry.
Joseph. All the way to the goal. Oh, what a beautiful reverse layup. That's a big-time play by Corey Joseph. It's back to a 12-point lead. Get it in to Paul.
The clock was running right there. After that made hoop, the clock continued to run. That's what Doc was upset about.
Paul swings it to J.J. Redick. His jump shot will not fall, not close. Rebound to Rosen. And the comeback is sputtering right now. DeRozan. Ball's knocked loose. Another turnover. Got to get something here, guys. Paul off the glass. Gets 2. Dwayne Casey calls a timeout, and a timely one, I think, for the Toronto Raptors. The Clippers are within 10. Only 2:20 remain in the basketball game. The ball will belong to the Toronto Raptors when play is resumed. A great play here a moment ago. The flush by DeAndre Jordan.
So what'd you do last night after practice? Sounds crazy, but I was in Cleveland with the Cavs. Then I went to OKC to check on KD. You ready, KD? Let's go. I ran some stats with the Warriors. You got the green light, Steph?
Curry steps back.
And then I lost my mind in LA with Blake and the boys.
Griffin throws it down.
Really, dude. Really?
Get the NBA app, the official app of the NBA.
Hey, kid, you catching the game tonight, right? You know it.
A 10-point lead for the Raptors. Looks like they're going to be holding on if they can keep it going here in the final couple of minutes. 18-12, the Clippers have outscored Toronto here in the fourth quarter. That's after the Raptors scored just 8 points in the third quarter. They could come away posting less than 30 points in the second half and still come away with a win. We'll have to wait and see. 2:20 left to play, 83-73. Toronto in front, back to Staples Center.
The Clippers are down by 29 at the half. They whittled it down to 6. But now it stands at 10, and time becomes a real factor with 2:20 to go.
You just got to dig in defensively. You can see those guys are spent right there.
No more turnovers.
It's look at Blake grabbing Chris. Let's go. Give it one last shot. But it's almost all got to go perfectly from this point. You got to have stops. You got to score. But were you to do that on these first 2 occasions, get 2 stops and 2 scores, boy, the pressure would just all of a sudden mount in a different direction. And who knows how much Toronto has left.
Luis Scola will bring the ball in. They're 94 feet away from the goal. Lowry turns up court. Hands it off to Corey Joseph, being entrusted with some key minutes here, playing the 3-guard alignment. The length of DeRozan allows you to do that.
Can't believe Scola passed up that open look.
Lowry beneath the basket. The lob down low. Scola says, I don't go that high, but I know how to catch it and put it back.
And that's Lowry recognizing that they did a switch so he could throw that anywhere, basically.
So it's 12 inside 2 minutes. Let's score the ball, guys. 6 points for Blake Griffin. He's been 20 or more in 11 of the first 12. He may have his first single-digit game of the season here this afternoon. Scola. Just keep on keeping on. 1:20 remaining. Ball inside. DeAndre Jordan will catch it and throw it down. They just had quite a ball game. 5 block shots, 14 rebounds, and 13 points.
Toronto's going to use clock, so you're going to start running out here, down 8. You need a stop and you need a 3 ball.
Sometimes you play not to lose rather than to win. You get yourself in trouble. The Clippers can force a turnover here or there. A foul instead. Jordan will pick up the personal foul, and free throws are coming for the Raptors.
That's what we were talking about, how it just has to go perfectly. You dig yourself in such a hole that all of a sudden it just has to go perfectly down the stretch, and here's the play. Not really anything Jamal did, except Lowry, wise enough, smart enough, clever enough to just kind of stop his progression to get his body into Jamal, make sure there was some contact.
Lowry's free throw is good.
His string of 20-point games is going to end. He'd had 7 games in a row, but his free throw string still intact.
Yeah, 39 in a row. This is for number 40.
Career, he's below 80.
Timeout for Doc Rivers. Well, he's down by 10 with 60 ticks on the clock. And believe it or not, such strange things have happened, but it's a long, long shot now. Down 87-77.
wild. I can't believe what I just saw.
Wow. What a play.
Doesn't get any better than that. So we can't wait for this one to start.
Have the Clippers right back here at Staples Center next Sunday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Should be a good one. The Clippers had chances here in the second half. They tried to make a furious comeback, but with a minute left to play, LA is down by 10. Toronto on top 87-77. DeMar DeRozan and Damari Carroll each with 21 apiece. Louis Scola with 18 as Toronto continues to shoot very poorly here in the second half, but overall getting the job done. 10-point lead, minute left, back to LA.
Second half scoring 43-24 in favor of the Clippers. That should be enough to get you a win, huh? Failed by 29 at the half of this basketball game. They've never really gotten it going offensively. They have defensively in the second half after a disastrous first half. Well, they just having difficulty putting it all together. J.J. Redick are bringing in he, Paul, Griffin, Crawford, and Jordan for the Clips. 1 minute remaining, down by 10. Need something quick, whatever it is. Redick for 2. All of his 17 points fall in the first half of this game. 48 seconds remaining. DeRozan steps out of bounds. Now, if he'd have scored a 3 at the other end, you'd think, okay.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Into the front court. Redick gets it right back. Crawford will fire the 3. Scola rebound, steal by Paul. He'll shoot a 3. Oh, the Clippers' three-point shooting is this game?
Pretty bad, I know.
6 for 28. 6 for 29. 20.7%. I'd hunt for a place to hide myself.
Yeah, take away Redick's 3 out of 6. You're 3 for 23.
Oh, dear. Clippers are like third best in the league last year. Scola will be at the free throw line to put the candles in the cake here. Fly home right after the game to the Raptors. Clippers fly out to Denver tomorrow afternoon. Meet the Nuggets at 6 on Prime Ticket Tuesday night. The season-long 6-game homestand opens the next night, the 25th, against a much-improved Utah Jazz team.
I know
LA Clipper ticket, check AXS.com.
I know the Raptors are improved defensively well. The addition of Damari Carroll, did a job. But 80 points is easily the lowest the Clippers have scored in any game this year. I think 91 was their previous low.
Oh. So timeouts taken. Clippers down 89-80.
Why do we play? We play for jumpers, passers, and shooters. We play for driveway one-on-ones, playground heroes, and the clutch vet at the Y. We play for ballers, shot callers, game changers, and life changers. We play for the east side, west side, north side, and south side. We play for the drama, the suspense, and even the comedy. We play for comebacks, paybacks, and givebacks. For breaking through, breaking barriers, and paradigms. We play for chasing a dream, on and off the court. We play for all that and whatever comes.
Carroll will bring it in across the court from us. Griffin will guard him. Carroll looks, finds Lowry. He'll get fouled by Rivers. So Lowry will shoot free throws. Austin gets his third foul. Lowry 6 out of 6 from the line. DeRozan 13 out of 14. We talked early on about guarding these guys without fouling. Hasn't happened.
Yeah, they've done a nice job like limiting their kind of shots. Lowry's had an off-ball game, 2 for 11. DeRozan 4 for 16. So that's 6 for 27. You take that from their two stars, but as you mentioned, the free throws by DeRozan, he gets over 20 points again. The great start by DeMarre Carroll was totally unexpected.
A 21 first half point, nothing in the second.
And Lowry, to his credit, does have 10 assists, so where he hasn't shot it well, he's gotten everybody involved. This is going to be 3 in a row for the Raptors over this Chris Paul-led Clippers.
And the Clippers will lose 3 in a row for the first time since last February. They had a 4-game losing streak. Shots continue to go awry. The Clippers 3-point shouldn't even awful. Doc Rivers says no fouls. Let's get the heck out of here, and I'm going to start thinking about the Denver Nuggets. 9 seconds to go. Carroll has it in the front court, and the Raptors will go home pretty darn happy. After losing the first 3 games on a road trip, they win the last 2, raise their record to 9 wins and 6 losses, and the Clippers finish 6-7 through 13 games. First time under 500 this deep into the season in the Chris Paul era. Wow.
Yeah.
Anything at all to gain out of this, Mike?
The effort was there, but the effort came late. The effort's got to start early.
Yeah, you need 48 minutes. It's not a 24-minute basketball game. So the Clippers, despite 17 points from J.J. Redick, all in the first half, they fall to the Raptors 91-80. Ralph Lawler inviting you to stick around for Clippers Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers, coming up next.